Now this slide is blank. Most vendors would put their sales pitch here. We don't. Our data is free. We give it to you. We're a non-profit and we mostly operate pro bono. All we do, if you want to use the data a lot, we ask you to use a separate organization at arm's length that distributes it in bulk, because we cannot fund the number of servers and the bandwidth needed to transmit that size file every 15 minutes to every large user in the world. We're protecting 1.8 million mailboxes worldwide. That's a lot of data to ship, so we let that be handled by somebody else so that we can remain totally at arm's length in that activity. So what can you do to stop spam? If your mail is handled by your ISP, they ought to be sorting it out. Talk to them. If they don't or won't, you've got a commercial option. We give a drop list. That's a list of the really bad places. We'd like it to be more granular. We'd like it to pick up single addresses that are being used for crime, but it's not as widely adopted as it could be. And yet that means that the backbone providers are hauling traffic that they know is being used for criminal purposes, which under the most recent change to the UK law is an offence in itself, but nobody is taking action on that either. What else can you do? Well, write to your Westminster MP. If they would make all spam illegal in the UK, and heaven knows most of you want that, it would make everyone's job a lot easier. We can get on with the serious crime issues. The Nigerian and phishing cases almost always rely on one of three companies to handle the replies: Microsoft, Yahoo, and Google. It's a fact that if Microsoft and Yahoo would take the necessary action, we could kill off a lot of this traffic. But Microsoft and Yahoo are too big to be influenced by conventional law enforcement. And that's not Ed Gibson's fault. He's done his best. The company's a lot bigger than him. And then look at software. Installing things on a computer, you're meant to get an alert. But if you keep getting alerts, you get used to saying yes to all of them. And if you say yes to all of them, you're going to let through the bad stuff. I had to install the Adobe Reader to show you this slideshow today because, as you heard earlier, the risks of Microsoft Word and PowerPoint are too high for the work we do. And I reinstalled the latest version. Ever since I installed it, that program has been trying to install something else, and my security system has been alerting me, and I've stopped it. But no software should try to install other software that you haven't asked for it to install. Because if you get used to accepting that, at some point you're going to accept malware that's going to harm your computer or spy on your network. Remember, like the hotel in Brighton, these guys only have to be lucky once. We have to be lucky all the time. There are hundreds of attacks on a PC or on a network every minute. If you have a firewall, the logs get rather large. If any of you know anything about London, you'll know that there are laws about holding demonstrations within a certain range of Parliament. This is simply because that number of people congregating around the House of Commons poses a threat to disrupt the security staff who might then accidentally let somebody in that they shouldn't. It's exactly the same with computers. If the attacks are coming constantly, then it's so easy for one's guard to be dropped or for something to get through. We have to be in a position to prosecute the attempts, but the attempts never carry a financial loss per se, and therefore nothing gets done. So this, again, is one change I would like to see made to give us the ability to deal with the problem. If you have a PC on your network in a back room, think very carefully. It may be on your network for use once a month. If that machine isn't patched and gets a Trojan on it, it can spy on every other machine on the network. It's not just that machine that gets involved. So, dyna ni yn diolch yn fawr. My good friend Nick Ross, who is probably one of the few people who understands this threat to the extent that we do, were he standing here, he would now say to you, don't have nightmares. Ladies and gentlemen, I say to you, don't have nightmares for one reason only, that after what you've heard today, you're going to be needed to be on maximum alert tomorrow morning. You've got a lot of work to do. Diolch yn fawr iawn.